So, what I did say was thank you, Hitch, for coming into your host. You hosted during a transition, that's why there was nothing that popped on screen. Sorry about that, very bad timing. What were you playing today? It was good to see you. And hi, Mr. Hicks, good to see you again. Welcome from Hitch's channel. What were y'all playing today? And I hope you found it enjoyable. We were about to play Cow Defender, which is a game developed by Martian Games. Martian Games is in the chat, so feel free to hit !indie and you can find out more about him as a developer, as well as his game. And if you want to play it yourself, you can find it online. Just hit !indie. The links and everything will be there. We're going to jump into it semi-blind, and by semi-blind, I mean I kind of cheated just to make sure everything would work. And I tried it out for about 2 minutes last night. And I had to say, in those 2 minutes, I was already addicted. Blacklist co-op. Sounds delicious. Hey there, Hicks. Hicks, were you Mr. Hitch's other half for Blacklist co-op? And sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't want any collusion issues when I did the audio, so this one didn't have any switching. That way I didn't get overdrawn power, which is something that I normally do if I mess around with this interface too much. So we were just changing that up. That being said, if everyone likes this game enough, you can all go play it for free. It is available. Hit !indie to find it. And if you all like this game enough, maybe Mr. Martian will be happy enough to give me some voice acting lessons. No, we're not soliciting him or anything, just making fun of him.
Thank you for all your support.
And thank you, Guinness Stout, for following. That's a wonderful screen name, by the way. Alright, so this is a Unity developed game. It is on the web. GL, we're going to hit F11 to go to our full screen mode. I have no idea how this is going to display here. There we go. And you should be able to see mostly everything on screen. Now, what is the point of this game? You're going to have to watch and find out, because that's how I learned to. As long as audio and everything is coming in fine, we'll leave levels right where they are. If you guys have any issue audio, visually, or anything like that, let me know. And we're going to jump into this. It is called Cow Defender. Mr. Hicks, are you having a wonderful day? You were the op to Hitch's co, yes? So you were Mrs. Hitch. Or was he Mr. Hicks? No, wait, was he Mrs. Hicks? I don't know. Maybe you're Mr. and Mr. Hicks. So, oh, we have $200. Great. I have $200 from an earlier farm. Now, what I'm guessing is that when you buy bigger farms, you have more area to cover and you can do better stuff. And this is reading off of probably my cookies or some other type of user-based save data for a browser-based game. But as you can see, all we can afford is the 500-acre thing. Graphics are ultra simplified. Don't sell yourself short. These graphics are wonderful. I'm kidding. I know what you mean. Looking good, fam. Alright, so this is what messed me up on the controls. Jump is space, right? Drive, shift to boost, right? So you're like, okay, these are pretty simple controls. Nothing big going on in here. Nothing like gonna trip me up, anything like that. Also, I'm going to move my clocks right here. I don't know if this is going to be of any importance to you, Mr. Martian, but I figured if you have someone playing, you might want to see what the clocks are at. So that's my computer. Everything you see on a bar is 0 to 100%. If you can tell, I'm like boosting the hell out of my RAM and my GPU, but everything else is good. But that's just between streaming, not playing. I thought that information might be useful to you, so I'm going to keep it up in the window as we go on. So here's what messed me up. You're driving around, truck's going, everything is good, right? You can jump, which is cool. Superpowered truck. Now, what if you combine the shift and the jump button? You now have rocket ship car, and it's ridiculous. Ugh. Okay, sorry. I just love driving around in this. The objective is to get a cow. We get one of our cows, we throw it in our truck with our hydroscopic lifting thing. Oh, chicky nugs. Chicky nugs. I want him. And then we put the cow in the plane, and where does the plane go? The plane lifts off to go save that cow. I love it. Now, who are we saving the cows from? So far, from what I've seen, it's these spaceships who keep destroying our barns. And once we destroy barns, we lose cows. So we need to keep them out of here, and we do so by getting the shooties. I just love the fact that I can pretty much fly around in this truck. This truck is not grounded by physics. This truck is not grounded by simple worldly means, not one bit. Also, where'd you get this music, Martian? I like it. I think it fits very well. Hey, Foxy, thank you for your host.
I'm not just saying that because I love to blow stuff up. Yes, you are.
I don't know how that cow... Wait, where did that cow go? Did I eject that cow? I think I did. I think I hit that wall so hard that cow is gone. That cow is in space. Well, we're gonna have to go get another one. We also have spaceships that we're contending with that keep going around. You made the airplane hangar? Lovely. That was part of your 3D sculpting stuff that you've done. Shooting is fairly simple. There's enough lead time for players to get into it. It's visually striking, which is nice. I need... Hey, you, get in the truck. Foxy, how are you doing? Stupid aliens always trying to steal our precious meats. Wasn't that the thing they tried to do in Teen Titans? Like, they tried to replace all of our meat with tofu, and we were like, nope. Also, I'm turning up my headphone volume because I realized I had it very low for Mega Man. Alright, 2 cows rescued. Oh, but we lost all of our barns, but before we did that, we got $300. Yeah, that cow vanished. What's the deal?
Thank you for all your support.
Hey, Cat Caker, thank you for following. And Foxy, thank you for your host. How are you doing tonight? You just took a spirit animal quiz and you got a ram? Nice, Future. You're not sure about Mr. and Mrs., but Hitch's partner does not refer to him and I as... Or does refer to you as internet boyfriends. Hey, that's something as a title I will never achieve. So good for you. I'll see you later, Chris. Thanks for hanging out while you could. Enjoy the rest of work and enjoy your dinner. Or lunch. Whatever you got from Arby's. Alright, so we have to restart from there because all my barns got destroyed because I wasn't good enough on the trigger. But we come back with a little bit more money. Only $500. We still can't afford the 10-acre farm. But we can go into the 5-acre farm. I know that this is... Hold on. I'm going to mess with something because I want you to see what I'm saying. I know that this menu is based on the Unity dev thing. So when you go bigger screen, it doesn't increase the menu size. Is that something variable that you can do, Martian? Or is that something that, you know, doesn't... Like, there's no way to change that. Also, I hope you can see the clocks, and I hope that those are useful to you as you see what's going on with the game itself. You love the sad cow eyes?
We've got a new contact. Unknown classification. It isn't one of ours. Take it out.
And thank you, Hicks, for hosting as well. I hope to have good times with you as we move on together. And yeah, I think Jenny modeling those makes sense. Because they look cute, like they look sympathetic. I want to save them. But they also just look really funny. You're pretty sure your spirit animal is a sloth? I love that. Hey, The Network, aka Sportscaster Direct Extraordinaire. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. So for such a simple game, there's a lot going on. You have the like rescue thing. You have your own driving around, which is limited to cooldowns and boostings and stuff like that, which is cool. But then you also have what spawns in your cows, and then you have a shooting aspect. Huh, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. When the plane was taking off and I was shooting that spaceship, we got a little bit of audio fry going on. That's not a bad thing. Just means that sounds are echoing off of each other. That takes a lot of tuning. Everyone look at Miss Jenny's beautiful, beautiful cow with its sad, sad eyes. Who is driving these planes, though? Because that guy should get a medal.
We need to detonate the rocks to get through. And I'm not just saying that because I love to blow stuff up.
Yes, you are.
Looking good? Thank you. We just now got our network back. Mr. Network. So we're just now able to do the kind of quality that I was used to doing before I moved. So this is an experiment of sorts and also an opportunity because I get to play cool online-based games like this by Martian. If anyone is interested in Martian's other projects as well as where you can get this game to play, hit !indie. It should give you as much information as you need because I'm sure that he has other projects in the works. Or are you just kind of working on improving this right now? That he would love support on. Okay, so destructible environment. Just took down whoever that person's power was. Jenny, did you also make these UFOs? Could you make them a little bit bigger, darling? I'm having trouble. That's just a personal request of me. That's nothing wrong with the game. That's just me. That's just me, like, complaining. Yo, get in the truck, Cal. These cows are super athletic, by the way. Those cows are so cute. Well, Jenny modeled them. I'm glad you like them. Alright, another cow rescued. I like it. You know, how come the spaceships, they don't just go after the plane? I mean, I know that would be, like, game-breaking, but... If it were me, I would just shoot the plane. It's kind of like Age of Ultron. Or not Age of Ultron. Oh, defendant 9 cows. Oh, I didn't lose all my stuff. I killed all the aliens this time. Good for me. And we made $900. I do like that there's a currency system, like a point system that you have in a mobile-based game. But it's a currency system in here. It makes it very easily translatable to players. and it gives them direct motivation to keep playing and try to do better every time. A lot of games today neglect the high score systems of the past, which, you know, that can really motivate people. You did not do the UFO? And thank you, Perp, for your auto host. Delicious, delicious. But you did do the barn. Is that why they keep falling apart? Because you modeled them? Because that would make sense. There is a way to increase menu size there. I guess I preferred the menu thing to stay smallish to allow more scenery. That is fair, because when you open up the full screen, seeing the entire barn and the UFO around it and stuff, for what is a simple browser-based game, is very good presentation from that size. So, I totally get that too. However, if the menu is transparent the way it is, yet it displays in the same size as this screen at the end, it would allow me to see more of what I'm doing when I'm buying barns and all that, without kind of squinting. And of course, when it's displayed in this size, it would show up a little bit better. That's just my opinion, though. I'm not a game maker. I'm just a guy. Everything in the kitchen looks so good. I'm glad you like it, Foxer. I'm glad you like it. Mr. The, or Network, I'm not really sure what to call you. We haven't discussed codenames. What have you been up to lately, and how has your gaming been? Most of the games no longer work on your site. Ah, I see, I see. So, where this is hosted is actually not a good link. Do you have a better link for us? Or what's the deal? Are you saying most of the other games are not there? I'm just wondering. Like, where can we get these in a different capacity, if that's the case? Alright, back to what we're doing here. So, what is the end state here? Is just killing enough aliens and then buying the bigger farm? Because I will certainly buy the bigger farm if I can afford it. Wait, is this farm different? This farm is a little different. There's cacti. We're suddenly out in the Midwest. Where are the cows? There's a cow. What did you model this truck off of? Or did you just, like, make this truck? Get in the truck, cows. I do like how athletic these cows are. It's pretty impressive. I also do appreciate that there's a balance between the objective and the combat stuff. It makes a simple game feel a lot more deep and something people can, like, quickly get addicted to. I also like that for a Unity-based web browser game, that you're able to adapt your WAS controls into here so directly. Also the fact that cows can't jump in if you're going super high speed, that gives the player incentive to slow down. And not just blast through here full speed all the time. Lots of good design direction here that I don't see in every little indie project that I jump into. And I jump into a lot of janky games. Believe that. Hey, you. Cowlet. Get in the trunk. There you go. I just, like, highlighted the entire chat. Network, I am not sure what you're saying to me. Oh, you're talking about this stream. Hi, JD. Thanks for following. Yeah, I was wondering, do we have like a nickname we can call you, Network? When I say the Network the whole time, like, it's so generic words I'm used to saying. I would not want to confuse you when I'm talking about something else. Because we were just talking about Network when you came in, and I was like, wait a minute, that's confusing. There's a charge slot? There's no charge slot, it's only rapid fire. Don't you dare, Val. I cannot afford to have my heart broken again. In fact, ask Martian if there's a charge shot, because if there is a charge shot in this game, I'm quitting right now. I can't go through that again. I can't go through that madness and disappointment again. Too much flying, too much flying, too much flying. I don't know what this speedometer reads out in, but it's not miles per hour. Or at least I hope not. Holy crap. Brakes, brakes. How does brake? There's no air brake because it's a truck. Network is fine. Sounds good. Just hopefully we don't confuse each other when I'm talking about like my actual network. Which has been a topic of discussion lately. Just a note though, the game is intended for about 15 minutes of fun. The rest of the farms are 2% become fanatics. So hey, that's how you make your business, right? What's that business saying? 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customers. Besides, you jump this in, you add in some weapons, you take a free-to-play route, like a Facebook-style thing that a lot of people do, and then you transfer it over to, I don't know, pay $1, get like 10,000 rounds. There you go, modern game, like money-sucking mobile game right there, if that's the way you want to go. Now, Martian, what other projects are you working on? Is it going to be stuff of this scale or stuff like much larger and you're just showing off what you can do with this? And thank you, Nova, for following. Enjoy your lurk. Fossil? Fossil works. I just hope you don't think I'm calling you old, because I revere you for your experience, not look down on it. No charge shot? I like it. No, no, no. No charge shot. We don't need no charge shots. We don't need that. I'll continue to work on it as a PC game with some better graphics, volumetric lights and stuff. Okay. So is this more like a, just showing off what you can do to people? Or do you ever plan to put this in like a sellable fashion? Or you just want to put it finished out there and be like, hey, look, this is my project, this is what I can do. Because that's what Top Brosh has done with some of his projects as well. I think Top Brosh is sleeping right now, otherwise I'd show him like, hey, indie dev, meet other indie dev. Whew. What was I talking about? Sorry, I drank like this lemon water, and it's pretty much like a neuralizer in a jar. It could be miles per minute, that might fit. I want to keep doing this though. Can't quite say I'm addicted, but I am intrigued, and I want to see like what else I can get out of this. Just driving around is fun to me. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever read the story of like Deus Ex. When they made Deus Ex, they had someone like playtest it, and the woman like didn't play the game at all. She just ran around and threw stuff and jumped around stuff. And they thought like they were in huge trouble, but she said that it was the most fun she ever had, even though she wasn't like actually playing the game. Because the developers' initial thought for that game was not what she was doing, but she had fun. So as long as people have fun playing your stuff, that's what matters. Also, am I supposed to be able to shoot through those rocky things? Those big cliff stalactites, or was that like an oversight? Or is that not a thing we're worried about right now? Hi, Alfred. Enjoy your gayness and your lurk, and thank you for following. Super boost! I don't know what's in this, like, truck's engine, but I'm sure it's illegal. Especially with the mounted remote control, like, rocket machine gun launcher on the top. I don't know what state we're in this game, but I'm sure they do not have laws that allow us. But that's okay, because we can outrun any law enforcement with this huge rocket-powered engine truck. But if that clipping was not intentional, then I want my money back. I want every penny that I spent on this free-to-play Reb game. If you add enough content for it, you might make it $5 on Steam eventually. Cow Defender. Is this... How adaptable is Unity stuff to mobile? And I'm not, like, suggesting. I'm literally asking. Like, I don't know. Oh, no! Well, that plane somehow made it, even though I, like, tripped it into oblivion. It went, like, nowhere. But nah, the funniness, the goofiness of stuff that just, like, happens, that is, like, an appeal for this, like me. A good thing to sit down and relax to, because, you know, every time I get stressed and I don't feel like playing a real game... Oh! Oh! Oh, I got more trucks. Okay, good. I respawned with my truck. Did that cost me any money? Oh no, cows! Let my cows go! No! Wait, if I kill you now, I kill the cow within you. But it's one less cow for America and one less cow for Mars. Wait, are these Martians or just... I don't even know. Nas infused with kerosene. Which is where the flame is coming from. Seriously, this level of boost right here. This is ridiculous. It also teaches players not to jam on the buttons like crazy. Oh, I'm on top of the barn. That's not where I want to be. I want to be in the barn. I want to... Yeah. Okay. Let's go save our cows for America. I'd like to think that this game is sponsored by the U.S. like Department of Agriculture, and it's like meat inspection team. You know, I haven't tried to shoot a cow, and I wouldn't try it, but can you? I wonder. The idea was the farmer gradually improves his truck and weaponry using the alien technology it acquires. That sounds perfect. That sounds exactly like a good simple Steam or mobile game that a lot of people love. I mean, if people can sell... I don't know if you've ever played Blood and Bacon. Martian, try out Blood and Bacon sometime, and it costs you $1 just to see. That game sells like a ton. If people can sell that, which is it's a horrible game, but if people can sell that, I have perfect confidence that you can sell whatever you make, you know? Especially if it comes out in this sort of quality, and you add in, you know, full featured and everything. If you notice the clocks, the biggest thing I'm hitting with the Unity stuff is the RAM. I'd say not because of the game itself, I'd just say because I'm playing in a Chrome browser, and Chrome stuff likes to eat up memory. So if you're looking at that bar, I'm sitting at about 75% of it, if that's good for your clocks. GPU memory is about maxed. That's mostly the stream, not your game. Because if you see the GPU core is only 52, it's not even pushing around 60, which is what it gets if it's playing something like Mass Effect Andromeda or something like that. You can, but you won't kill them. I like that. I don't want to kill any of these beautiful cows. You love this channel? Well, thank you, network. You're about to dig into a creation called Sourito. Google it after the stream, that is. Sourito. You played Blood and Bacon on Hitch's stream? What did you think about it, Hicks? And what can you tell Martian about that game? Because I am never talking about that game again. No, I'm kidding. It was a decent game, and someone paid for it for me, but I would have never spent money on it myself. But that's just the type of person I am. Your earnings if you wipe out all UFOs are reduced if you lose a truck. Okay, so there's some give and take. Very fair, very fair. 2 trucks per round. Okay, I like it. I like it. But yeah, the whole like adding in a simple upgrade system to this, and yeah, simple upgrade system, keeping along with this, upgrading the weapons and stuff. I think you have a good base layer for coming out with something full featured. Now, what's the deal with the hosting stuff? Being that these are Unity based, I've played a few Unity builds before, and I've always been sent downloadable links. Is this downloadable anywhere, or would you rather people not have your build like that? There's a particular element of it that put one of our regular guys right off. And how is that, Hicks? Because I might have an idea of what it is, but you can tell me. WebGL eats a ridiculous amount of RAM because the entire Unity engine is loaded into HTML5. Sounds about right. Which again brings me back to my question. Is something like this, or your future projects, are they available in like a downloadable format? Or no? Also, my goal today, before I get done with this, is to unlock all of your farms. Because I want to see what you put up there for $99,000. And see if the price is right. Alright, so we're back on the regular map, only it's a little bit bigger. So bigger stuff means more cows, but it also means more stuff to defend. Also, what is that? Did I just run over a cactus? Hi, Patrick Lawn. Thanks for following. Enjoy your lurk and hit !indie if you would like to check out this game for yourself, as well as a person who made it and keep up with them. Same to you, Corey the Fox. Now tomorrow we'll be showing off a different indie game by a different developer. I'm not going to take Martian's spotlight and talk about it too much, but if you want to get in on that playtest at !fatal, add me on Steam and then hook up with me in Discord, and you can join me for tomorrow's playtest as well, where we show off another indie person. But right now we're focused on Martian. Martian, is this like your most developed project, or do you have other stuff that really like shows off your capabilities? Because just from playing this and seeing a few of Jenny's like funny little 3D art, I wouldn't mind knowing what else you're capable of. One of the final bosses, the exposed anus, yeah, I remember that.
Thank you for all your support.
Hey, Tam and Noon, thank you for following. If you're onboarding, enjoy your lurk. That cow got stuck in the air. Okay, now it got in the plane. It like flew around in the air for a little bit. That was weird. I want my money back. Martian. I'm kidding. I used to pay my bills by running a few ads on your site and distributing my games to other browser websites which will link to your site. Okay, that makes sense. You know, whenever I see people put an app online though, even if it's the simplest like touch game, like I played a few games where you're literally just dodging asteroids and there's ads on them, I always, and this is my personal opinion, if any mobile game, and I know we're talking about Unity games, but just switching gears to mobile games so I can relate to it a little bit more. Any mobile game or mobile app, whether it's a Bible or a reader or a calendar, if it has a free version that has ads, it should also have a paid version that doesn't have ads, even if it's just like $1 or something. Because people will pay that just to like get rid of the ads. I know that because I'm one of those people. Also, thank you, Yusuf, for following. Val, why are you dumb? Oh, you spelled indie like Indy 500? It's the indie that's underneath the screen, that indie. Nice job, Val. I love you. I still love you. Of course, darling. I wouldn't want to play this indie stuff if I couldn't figure it out. By the way, how's your moves? Both of you. How your move together? I hope that's working out and they haven't been giving you too much trouble. Also, I'm not going to kill that last one because I want to farm up some more of this money. So I'm going to leave him alone while we rescue all these cows. That cow fell out of the truck. Get back in the truck, cow. I'm going to name you Cysteria. Get in the truck, Cysteria. Oh no! Did you just steal my cow? Rest in peace, Cysteria. I'm sorry. I couldn't let him get away with you. Alright, I think this barn is empty. Wait, do the barns respawn cows, or is it just like 3 per barn initially? And then the barns like protect them from being taken away. I think that's what I'm getting out of this. Twitch Prime, I hate ads. Twitch Prime is perfect to get rid of ads, definitely. I think we were talking more games than Twitch, but same deal. Same thing. Twitch Prime allows you to pay to get rid of something you don't like while still supporting the people you want to support. Like, I was looking at, like, I was on my grandfather's phone. I was trying to set him up with, like, a different Bible app. Because the one he has is very, very complicated, and it takes a long time to set up. And, like, when you go on it, you can't immediately read. So I found one that you can immediately just look into and read, right? Only the thing is there's ads galore in it. And the guy has a ton of paid-for versions of the Bible. But when you do that, like the paid-for versions, the $5 versions, they don't just remove ads, they add all these features. I want a featureless version with no ads for my grandfather so he can just open up the app and go. So I'm about to email that guy and be like, yo, if you cook this up and put it on the App Store, I will pay for it. Like, guaranteed sale right there. Just give me this version that I want. So never underestimate the consumer base. But also don't take them for granted, because there are some things people are not going to pay money for. For instance, if you were on watching Hitch play Blood and Bacon, you might not look at Blood and Bacon and think, yo, I need that game if it was like 15 bucks. You might think, okay, I'll pay $1 for this. The barns protect the cows, UFOs can abduct them, okay. UFOs try to destroy the barns, that's what I was getting out of that. And the cows don't respawn, you have a max number of cows per level. Which is the point of getting the bigger levels so that you have a better max cow capability to get your money up faster. Now, eventually that would run out unless you did some type of procedural generation program that allowed you to make like infinite levels and stuff like that. But it will eventually run out. Is that something you plan to do, or do we have like some type of level caps, or will money only be temporary and you'll have to like bring it back and stuff like that? Or what is the plan to make this a longevity project? Or will it never be? I know like a lot of developers, big and small, run into that issue. Like, how do we keep a game relevant to a player for longer and longer? And sometimes it's randomization. To me, it should just be currency that's not forever. Like, just because you bought it today doesn't mean you keep it forever, because then you have to keep earning your currency. Which means you have to keep playing in order to unlock more stuff, in order to keep playing, and so on and so forth. It creates a good loop for the player. Which game does my grandpa love? No, it wasn't a game. It was just a Bible app. So he doesn't have to carry a book around with him. He can just carry his phone. Which slides much better into a suit pocket, I must say so myself. But yeah, the Twitch Prime is a good example of like, if you give consumers an option to pay to have better convenience, they will do it. Where are other barns? Oh, this farm's like too big now. Would you ever consider doing this in a multiplayer fashion, like a Hungry Hippos type of thing? Because I think that would be fun. But yeah, the Twitch Prime is a good example of like, if you give consumers an option to pay to have better convenience, they will do it. Where's the Hungry Hippos? You know, green trucks versus blue trucks, trying to get more cows. Or even other people playing spaceships and abducting the cows and trying to fight the trucks. That would get crazy. It'd be like capture the flag with cows, pretty much. Adding lots more content before bringing this to Steam. Okay, 77 and played Madden. He was good too. Really? Sounds about right, or Fossil. Sorry. When I think about Fossil, I think about the watch brand. So I think I'm calling you a classy thing that I would wear all around my wrist. If anybody else is playing this right now, let me know. We'll go head to head as soon as that multiplayer DLC drops. I'm kidding. Alright, so we lost all the barns, but we made a good bit of money. I'm alright with that. Where are we at money-wise right now? Looking at the temps, as you can see on a quad-core i7, nothing is going ahead of 52 degrees Celsius, so this is running pretty neatly. So as far as intensity, this isn't going to blow out anybody's system, at least in a modern computer. Even a quad-core will be able to handle this. At least as NARS is pumping like 2.4 gigahertz. I think you're good on that optimization level. Especially since, you know, this is just one type of graphic system. The RAM is pretty much the only thing that's really like kicking my butt right now. And again, that's not a super issue. The RAM is causing a little bit of occlusion in only my left headphone. If the RAM is not it, then I am getting a little bit of static out of my left headphone. Only when the game starts to throw, like when it's shooting, jumping, UFOs, and boosting, like all the time. Then I start to get a little static play. I don't know if that's a browser thing, a Unity thing, or the game itself. But I figure those are all notes that you can add into your testing. Or you can be like, Shooter Q is a fool and has no idea what he's talking about. And you probably wouldn't be wrong there. You love the watches? Nice. I would pull out a Fossil, but they're all in the safe and I really don't want to go get my keys and everything like that. A cow, machine gun, rocket launcher strapped to a back, a UFO, or a farmer. I like it. I like it. And then, you know, various trucks, various spaceships, and all stuff like that. Lovely. It's all good, Hicks. Thanks for stopping by with Hitch, and I'll see you around later, my man. Remember, hit exclamation point fatal if you want to take part in the playtesting tomorrow, or, you know, from now on. And if you want to support Martian and more of what he's doing, at exclamation points indie, and see what he's about. And that goes for anybody and everybody. Let's try this out for a little bit longer. I'm not quite done with this yet. After this, we'll be jumping into the Fallout shelter. Because we do have a Fallout shelter thing to check on. Hopefully we haven't all eaten each other yet. Good night, Hicks. You take care of yourself, my man. Whoa, that side boost. Also, good to note, with a game like this, I noticed you've made it very forgiving with the physics. Some games try to be too, like, GTA-like. When I say GTA-like, what I mean is, you have a game that has very high stakes, and is a bit unforgiving in combat, and driving and stuff like that. 3, 4, and 5. Yet, they make the driving so inaccessible for players. Like, they want players to do crazy stuff, but they don't give them the ability to soak up damage while doing it. And it causes this, like, juxtaposition with, oh, I have to be careful, but I also need to go fast. And this, of course, we're able to go fast, not be careful, and not have any, like, not have too many consequences from it. It encourages, how do I say it? The attitude of the design is in line with the attitude of the gameplay. And so the player is not interrupted in their cycle of fun. And that's a huge deal. If design takes you out of the fun, then I feel like the game is losing a little bit of its merit. And that doesn't matter how simple or complicated your project is. It's just a good lesson. Really? Interesting. I think the airport works. I think the airport works very, very well. I was just talking about Fallout Shelter because that's what we'll be playing after this. Because I don't think we've caught up on it in about a week or two. Plus, it'll be the first time I can play with actual song requests and stuff on. And not the delayed one I've been doing in order to protect my network and assets. But yeah, good use of the music assets you've been doing. Hey, El Tigre, welcome back. Come play this game with me. I'm kidding, there's no multiplayer right now. But we can pretend, baby. I do like also the bars, the life bars, both on the enemies and the barns. One, they're all consistent between enemies, barns, and yourself. So the player never has... excuse me. The player never has any doubt what that is. Two, they don't show up on a barn or a UFO unless they are actively getting hurt. Which... or if they're hurt already. Which takes away screen clutter. And that's a huge deal. And also, going with the double-sided life bars, it makes it more dynamic in a more simple game like this instead of a single-sided life bar. It also makes it a lot more visible in a game of this scale where you're constantly getting closer and farther away from things. So that was a good move on your part as well. You had your dinner, and what did you have for dinner, El Tigre? Did you leave me any leftovers? Woo! Sorry. I don't know. If a game can make me woo, like, I know it's a good game. Even if it's something simple. Alright. Drift, 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 drift. Boost. Not too hard. I want to fly over this thing like I did before. Alright. 8 cows in the sky. 8 cows in the sky. Where are you going, alien dude? Uh oh. Can I boost against my boost to brake a little? I kind of can, but not really, but I don't even know. Network, what are your, or Fossil, what's your next project, by the way? What will you be working on? And also, did you ever figure out what was up with that site in the podcast? Or were you just calling it a podcast and it was just a SoundCloud thing? Because I'd love to add you to my podcast list. Yeah, did you hear that little echo scratch thing? Was that intentional, or is that just... like what I just heard with that echoing, and it kind of like broke out my stuff. Is that intentional, or was that like kind of just too much stuff going on at once, and RAM and WebGL and all that? Alright, I'm speaking a little bit louder than I expected to. What I'm going to do to fix that is turn down my microphone for you guys, that way I'm not blowing out your ears, as well as turn down my volume so I'm not trying to match it. Because I'm getting a little more excited than I thought I would get for a game like this. Only made 4,000 that time, I didn't quite farm it as well. But, again, I'm not done with this yet. Just something simple for a Thursday. I like it. Bell pepper stuffed with rice and beef and tomato sauce. Parmesan cheese. Do you slow cook yours, or do you put them in the oven? Tigre. I like it. I like it. Well, Martian, when we're done here, I'll make a VOD of this entire thing, and I'll put it in my Indie Games with Devs collection, so you can come back and look at this for whatever feedback you want. And you can keep an eye on that clock in a super, like, full screen mode where you can actually see its bars. And you can compare it to my PC specs so you know kind of what you're working with different types of players and stuff. Obviously, WebGL, you're not going to have any optimization graphics options with this. Though, you know, if someone jumps in here with an i2, you know, IBM from 2004, this might break them off. And breaking people off is not what we want to do. We actually noticed that when we were testing Fatal Velocity. The game comes in like super, super, super best up at graphics. Which means that the first person loading it up on like a regular i4, just standard gaming computer, they're going to be chugging, and they're not even going to know, like, oh no, my computer, like, can I turn this down? Because they won't even get that far, you know? So it's kind of interesting to think about stuff like that. It's a really weird sound. Maybe pushing the volume into red on your headphones and sounding even weirder. That's what I think. I think I was just kind of heavy on the headphones. I mean, my heads are at like 30%, otherwise I hurt my ears. For you guys, you're hearing it a lot louder than I am. But I was just hearing that little echo and fry. I think it was just too many things going on at once. So you may be changing networks. Well, I hope you get the right network. It's only online radio, but you're working on an app. It's through Blog Talk. You know, if you can get it approved through like iTunes podcasting, you can just upload all your old episodes on there, and then it becomes an easy subscription service for people like me who need easy subscription services because we have too many things going on in our lives. And you hit the mainstream, and then you get the iTunes reviews with good support from people like me, and then you're good to go, Fossil. But you let me know how that works out, and we'll get there. Tonight, just the oven? Okay. Let me catch up, make sure if there's anything else. Sorry, just cracking my neck around. My neck's still sore from that stuff I told you I was doing earlier. Also, since we were talking about all those breasts and thighs. 16,000. Oh, net worth is 16,000. I only have 10,000. Let's see if we can at least get the $20,000 farm, and then I'll see how I feel after that. If I want to keep, like, breaking this game and, like, jumping into it as much as I can. Oh, you know what? I just figured out what that meter is on the right, or like where my NOS meter is. It's that like fluid thing on the right. I didn't know what that was before. Not saying that's a bad thing, I just wasn't focused on it. It's so far away from the center of the screen. In fact, when I first started playing, I thought my life bar, because I had never been shot before, I thought my life bar was my boost meter. Until I figured out like, oh, all the life bars look the same. I don't think that's something bad on the game. I think that's just me and like looking at what I'm looking at. If you export to YouTube, we'll add it to Martian Games playlist. Sure. I can, once I have it as a highlight and I put in my little collection, I can surely export it to YouTube if that would help you guys out. And add my... Whoa! We have blast off. We have lift off. Forget about the farm. I'm going to space, yo. Alright, seriously, where am I right now? I think I'm about to, like, break this map. I am very far away. How much safety room did you give these maps, just in case people do boost, like, very far? Will they eventually hit a wall? Like an invisible wall? Or do you just have it so far spaced apart that it's not likely to happen? I mean, we can test that in a second if you really want to see it, if you don't know yourself. Branching out on your own through Skype and Google Hangouts? Hey, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
Awesome choice.
Hey, Quentin, 49er.
Welcome.
I'm guessing you're a football fan.
Thank you.
Enjoy your football, enjoy your lurk, and if you want to play this game, exclamation point indie, we'll bring it up. I'm really impressed with as far as the projectile draw distances. I play some modern games where that's a problem. Hey Nick, what's going on? Like where you can see stuff, you can see your projectiles go certain stuff, but the damage drop off after a certain distance means that the rounds pretty much clip through. So for a simple project like this to have that under wraps, it shows the potential what you can do given responsibility of something heavier, which are not as well handled. Alright, Cal, get in the plane. Get in the plane, please. Get in the plane. You know what, I'm just gonna trust you to get in the plane. I'm gonna leave. I got stuff to do. Good job, Cal. Nick. What up with you? I do not, Fossil. My dad plays fantasy football. I'm not a sports ball person. I appreciate it. I learn everything I can from sports. But at the end of the day, I don't go and put my hands on balls and do cool stuff like that. My athletic capabilities are put to better, or not better, but different kinds of use. But that's mostly a career choice thing. I still appreciate sports. I can sit down and watch a game of like anything, but that's about all. I don't think you need to welcome Nick. Fossil, he's been around since forever. He's the true Fossil of the channel. Nick Simmons, aka Nick Rammons, aka Snack Grammons, aka Nicky Glasses, aka Nicky the Books, aka Nicky Nickname, aka Nice Guy Nick. I can't remember all the other ones. Nick, did you ever have a pasta name? I think we never gave you one, right? Because everyone else said pasta names. Plus, I couldn't think of an in term for pasta. I am not a hockey fan. You shut your mouth right now. I'm also not a journalist. Nick is a hockey fan, though. That's why he's always like Nick. When me and him first met, he would like post random stuff about hockey, and I would just like it on Twitter just to like back him up. Go like, yeah, man, cool. And then he started asking me hockey questions. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, what? And then he still does it every once in a while. He'll just like talk to me about some hockey stuff. I'm just like, cool. No idea what you're talking about. Which is funny because the sports ball joke coverall doesn't even touch hockey. Also, I'm very, very glad for this regenning health. Yeah, when I'm getting the static, I noticed that it's only in my left headphone. Not sure why that is. Fix it, Martian. Fix it. Fix it, or I want a refund. Oh, did I pull his aggro off that barn? Like, was he on that barn until I shot him and I pulled his aggro off, or was that just random? Because if that was by design, kudos to you for putting that up. A wall turned out to be a bad idea because you were flying through the sky at 300 miles an hour. You'd be suddenly slammed down to 0. Yeah, totally get that. Totally get that. So you gave him infinite safety room. And I'm guessing you just did a draw, like an infinite draw with the desert type sand type stuff. Sounds right. Sounds right. quick breaks. I definitely think braking capability should be one of those upgradable things that you do. As well as like a cow magnet distance. The Ottawa Senators, yeah, I'm all about those guys. Let's go Senators. Do I even have any barns left? Oh, we have liftoff again. Again. And all my barns are gone while I was tricking up here in the air. Totally worth it. What in the devil is this? Maestro, this is Cow Defender, a game made by Martian Games under you. Also, Maestro, Martian, say hi to each other. You're both indie game devs, and you've both been featured on this channel as indie game devs before. Martian, if you want to try this out for like 5 minutes, hit ! Indie. I'm telling you, it's worth your time. It's worth it. You can stop an abduction the same way, and you can pull aggro off barns. Excellent. Excellent idea. Your voice is awesome. Do you ever do drops for people? What do you mean drops, Fossil? I'm not sure if I know the definition of this terminology. Later, Kiko. I know it's late out there in Australia. Everyone say bye to Kiko in Australia, where it's winter right now and they are freezing to death, and they have to dress in like Tasmanian skins and hide themselves in kangaroo pouches for warmth. I'll talk to you later, Kiko. Thank you for hitting us up. There are no new art assets in this map. Nah, that's alright. I'm not even looking for art assets now. I'm just saying what I can do with the game and what I noticed. For instance, we've been, what, like 20 or 30 minutes in, and I just now noticed the little boost meter, because I didn't know what that was before. It's got a nicely designed little liquid tint to it as well. We'll get to the $20,000 farm, and I'll see how I feel about it after that. You know what would be a good idea? Actually, forget about this. This is not a good idea. This is an inexperienced and novice idea. Though, if you had other indie game developers that were trying to promote their game, they could design levels for you. And that way you could have like a ton of levels to keep pushing through. And as recompensation or remuneration for that effort, whatever level they design could have a bunch of like in-game advertisements for whatever game they're pushing. Whether it be a link or a website or a Twitter or whatever. That way you get people to design assets and more varied levels for you. You just drop in the base game, and they get free advertisement out of the deal. That would be a good little indie networking thing. But again, this is a novice, inexperienced, and totally idiot idea, and probably would never work. Bye to Kiko in Australia. Nice. Keekers? Does she even like that? I've never heard her call that. Yo, Cal, get in the plane. Mama had a chicken. Mama had a cow. Dad was proud. He didn't care how. If you get that reference, I owe you a kiss.
Thank you for all your support.
Thank you for following, Corestes. If you're onboarding, we'll see you when we see you. If you aren't here, enjoy your lurk, unless you know what that reference was, and then I owe you a kiss. How come that cow's not getting in the plane? Oh, well, now I know. Because it's flying. It's too busy flying to get in the plane. Maybe it's afraid of heights. Maybe that cow had a traumatic experience when it was a cat. I don't know what just happened there. I seem to be shooting under myself. I think it was because the crosshair was going on the mountain as I was going down, so maybe it was going backwards? I don't really know. No, that's a horrible businessman suggestion. I know nothing about what I'm talking about, Jenny. Don't trust in me. Why would you quote cow and chicken? You owe me nothing? No, Maestro, it's already in the carts. I'm kissing you. It's done, Maestro, it's done. That's a done deal. And why would I quote them? Because I'm playing a game where I save cows from aliens, and I couldn't help myself. You know what this just reminded me of? The one level where you save cows from aliens in Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Cow, get in the truck. What is with this cow? He's like super glitched. Yo, get in. You know what? We gotta do this the hard way. Woo! Hey, here's a question. What are those little pixel blocks that I'm seeing? Is that just dust in a easy to see pixel form? So when I'm jumping, it's becoming bigger, which is why it looks like a big box to me. Because the whole time, I thought in the beginning of every level, I was losing like hay or something that was in my truck. You never understood Pig Devil? Oh, the guy, they call him? Red guy? I think he was meant to be something we didn't understand as kids, and he was just meant to be kind of provocative, kind of scary, and a source of plot, and a source of... how would you say? A source of intrigue, as well as a little bit of disgust and humor. In fact, every time I make coffee, I always remember Red Guy uses pantyhose to filter out his coffee, because he doesn't know that coffee filters exist in one episode. It was also probably one of those things that Red Guy would get censored on today's TV, but back then it was just seen as a funny thing. That might happen rarely, a bit of a bug. Oh, what, the big giant blocks of dust? Or the cow that wouldn't move? Oh, I don't have 19,000 yet. Alright, gotta go again. Wait a minute, is this costing me more every time I jump in? No. No, this isn't costing me more. I'm just not making as much money as I thought. That cartoon was definitely not meant for children. Well, it was meant for children at the time. Sometimes we tend to look at things as adults and be like, ugh, how did kids watch that? But when we were kids and we watched that, we didn't get anything negative out of it because we didn't have, the context to put it into. Within our innocence, it was perfectly fine. And a lot of stuff is like that. It's like, it's our adulthood that ruins our perception of things. So I wouldn't say it's like it wasn't meant for children. It's just that, you know, it's written by adults. Has a lot of adult humor in it. Is what it is. The stray cow, gotcha. But yeah, there was definitely a lot of adult themes in that, but I don't think you're gonna find any kid-centered thing that doesn't have adult themes in it, since we are the ones making that stuff. Will you get in the plane? Please? You can quit the map at any time, you keep your money. Oh, good to know. I really like the game Destroy All Humans. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of this too. I never got to play that. I know there were 2 of them. All I remember was reading about it and seeing videos of it on G4 Tech TV as a kid. Here's a question. Probably a stupid question, because it probably makes no difference. No, this was not a stupid question. I was about to ask you if there was a difference between driving on the road and driving on the dirt. And there is. I can hear skidding on the road, and I get a lot more traction on the road. Was that intentional, or am I just imagining it? Because if it was intentional, props to you for scaling that up. Don't judge you? I would never judge you. There were plenty of other cartoons I watched as a kid I didn't catch on until I was older. Oh no, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. As kids, we don't see it. As adults, we're like, oh. Like, I think I had a friend who watched Forrest Gump in high school. He told me when he was a kid, he thought when the guy was yelling at Forrest Gump's house when he was a kid, that him and his mother were having a heated argument. That was his perception of that scene as a child. The hee-haw, hee-haw, that part. The road is indeed faster. Good on you for scaling that out, man. And the little bit of skidding noise, that was a little bit different. What's up? How come when I shoot some of these guys, I see like a blocky texture appear? Is that just what you put as a lighting texture and it just needs a little bit of work to not be so blocky, and that's just what happens at draw distance? Or is it supposed to appear blocky in sort of a retro-ish, stylish fashion? Kitties, kitties. Again, not here to criticize, just here to open up all the avenues of what I'm seeing. Getting a little bit of that left ear fry again. Could be me. I do have a little bit of hearing damage from military days. Hey, Jeremy, another indie game developer. Everyone say hi to Jeremy. Jeremy, how's your indie game project going? This is what I will do for you when you get a playable demo for me. This is Martian Games project, and it is available to view as well as to hook up with them on Twitter if you want to. If you have !indie. Otherwise, how are you doing, Jeremy? And how are your projects going? I know we talk on a lot of other channels, but it's been a while since we had some FaceTime. Also, welcome back to, like, Good Network. I don't think you've ever been here when I had a solid over 2,000 bit rates. Homing missile right now would not be a bad idea. It doesn't do that in Unity Editor. It's some weird issue in WebGL you need to troubleshoot. Oh, the little thing. Well, I'm noticing it. Here, I'll shoot at something else so you can see. Like, at this distance, you can see that red very clearly as a flame. And at this distance, you can do that too. So it's not that specific splash. It was only with... I land on top of the airport, why don't you? It's only when I was shooting spaceships, and it's only at a certain distance. So here, I'll get some good shots so you can see exactly what's going on there. See how it has a little cube-like splash? And it's like where that splash is occurring, but once I get close up, we only get the splash, and not the cube, and not the pixel. So I think it's just something that's happening to your shades at a distance. Not really sure why. By the way, is that a stock flame effect when they blow up, or did you make that? Or do you have other people that work with you besides Ginny? Also, Martian, when are you going to teach me to voice act? Switching from bus to train, enjoy your connection, have a safe one. We'll see you when you get right back here. The map terrain road placement of objects are procedural, so they don't always make perfect sense. Oh, no, I wasn't expecting them to. And I'm glad you're doing well, Jeremy. I have been okay. I have been working myself rabid, so it's good when we can take times like this to relax with something simple. Not another game I have to do about as much math and writing and thinking in as I do in my everyday life. Sometimes it's nice to just drive around and shoot stuff and listen to music. Oh no, I can kill my own barn. I didn't even know that. I never shot my own barn. Yeah, see the little QB part that's appearing as we shoot? I don't know if it's just a distance thing or what. Yeah, texture compression. That's probably what it is. Your splash texture is just showing up in the rest of itself. Almost like having a PNG image that's not completely separated from its background, so it looks kind of weird. Thank you, Sprouting Potato, for your host. But yeah, Jeremy, I'm glad you're doing well. It's always good to hear from you. You do all of your own soundtrack work, don't you? Or do you work with people and kind of pay them off to do it? Or exchange, like, sexual favors or whatever it is? Because if you're paying people in sexual favors, I'm telling you, I need to voice that entire game. I'll do it. I'll do it, Jeremy. I'll do it. Crap, I'm so close. It's only like $100 away. Hey Cole, thanks for following. If you're onboarding, see you when we see you. If you're lurking around, enjoy your lurk. But I appreciate the patronage. Привет, здравствуйте. Как дела? Как вы? Пожалуйста. Hey Arkadka, how are you doing? I just happen to be speaking Russian, and there's my favorite Russian. Arkadka, pupsik, как дела? How are you doing? It's good to see you. Thank you for coming. Spasibo. How are you doing, Art? And yeah, you had a little bit of trouble. That's alright. If you ever need help diagnosing, that's something I do on a daily. Just ask Jakara and a whole bunch of other people I've helped out with the stream stuff. I will help you however you need to be helped, Arkadka, and even if you have a crap computer, we will push it to its optimized level. Not its max level, it's optimized level. Those words mean different things. But I will help you out as I can. Everything looked good, Arkadka. I hope you had fun for that. How goes the Dishonored 2 speedrun practice? You need to rescue about 3 more cows. I can do that. I just want to open up one more map before I decide to either continue this game or switch to Fallout Shelter. By the way, when we're done with Fallout Shelter tonight, we'll be watching anime. If anyone wants to join us and you don't mind jumping into an anime that you haven't seen, hit ! show, get the details there, add me as a friend, and you will be good to go. Martian, as we come to a close on this, and our last level or 3, is there anything that you want to see me try out, or something I haven't done, or noticed that you would like to ask me? Or something you want me to do that I haven't really done, in order to see the full scope of this little project of yours? Hey, I only know a little bit of Russian, but the Russian that I know goes to my Russians, like Arkadka. Arkablek is good people. He's been around with me for a long time.
Thank you for all your support.
Hey Mousetrap, thanks for following. If you're onboarding, see you when we see you. If you're here live with us, enjoy your lurk. See you around. I'm also really glad I found this like games and what is this category of games? It's like games and testing or something. Hold on. What's this called? Games and demos. I'm glad we found a games and demos section because before this I would just do indie games in the retro section, but all the indie games I did actually were retro-ish games, so it didn't matter. Now I'm kind of like, I don't know, when I do more indie stuff, especially stuff that's a little bit heavier and more modern like this, I was like, well, I can't put this in the retro section, so I'm glad we found that little gaming thing. Try to hit a UFO by ramming into him in the air with your truck. Oh! Thank you, Brownie, for following. If you're onboarding, we'll catch you when we catch you. If you're here live, enjoy your lurk, or speak to me if you want to speak to me. Only in Russian. I'm kidding, not in Russian. My Russian's weak. I'm learning every day, but I need formal training. That's why I'm about to go to school for it. Sadly, the stream didn't run too well since I don't have a lot of time to practice. That's alright. If you want to work on your practice, work on practice outside of stream. If you want to work on the stream, pick a day and a time, jump in with me, I'll jump on there, we'll collude everything, optimize everything, and get you good to go. And then, once we get you good to go, then you can focus on your playing. But we'll focus on getting your stream right first. I can help you out with that, trust me. I started doing this with like some really, really crap equipment, $250 worth of computer, and I still made it work. I'm the king of making stuff work with less, doing more with less than that. You do the soundtrack and effects yourself, you've done everything yourself. Like PR, social media, important stuff. I can't just get hyped, that kind of work. Jeremy, I think it's good that you are setting up your assets, and this is just, you know, my opinion, having supported some successful indie projects, as well as having personally supported some indie projects that didn't work so well. I think it's great that you get the best game and the best project you can foot forward before you do stuff. For instance, just this game we've been playing. Martian can look at this and be like, oh, this is how this runs. Playing games that aren't quite finished or like only have like little cell phone videos of them or something like that, you try to sell it to people and try to get people hyped about it, but then you don't have a product that you can even show them like as a sample, and it comes off very weak, and you gotta depend on people's like favoring you versus selling them on the project and being like, hey, for your investment we can make this better. I think that's a better approach, is getting your stuff right and then getting right with that, and then, you know, of course, working with your friends like me who will help promote you as much as possible. So, what is our two things? Car combat is a rad genre. I'm glad to see it get a little bit more love. Right? Right. There's one game that's like a Mad Max MMO that a lot of people have been playing. I don't know what it's called, but it looks really fun. Alright, what are we trying to do? A no-shoot kill. And just racing around on the road. I can do that. Also, new track. So we'll have more room to do so with. 20,000 acres. Is this using my cookies to save, or like, what's the deal? Are you hacking my hard drive every time or something? Alright, so let's just try on the road. I mean, it's very simple right now. Getting the turns right is fine. Also, there's no consequence for speed, because you can drift around like that and you're not losing like a single thing. Of course, Arkadka, I'll do it. Okay, I lied. You can drift around and you do lose some of your straights. Nice. I just threw that thing with the brakes. Nice physics system here. I say the only thing is, I'm not used to playing games, or I'm not used to playing car games with mouse and keyboard. So when it comes to hitting the brakes, I'm like trying to reach for a button that isn't there, like an E button or something. Whereas, you know, trying to hit S to hit my brakes, yes, it is intuitive, but hitting it while also holding down on my gas can be a little counterintuitive, and lifting up on the W key to hit the S key kind of takes away what I'm doing with my gas when it comes to making those S-curve turns once you start putting in some more curvy turns. Now if I bound my middle finger back on my S key, yeah, I can totally make it work, but it's not the easiest thing in the world, to be like completely honest with you. So maybe adding a brake or an E-brake as an E key instead of an S key wouldn't be a bad option. Hey Haji, what's going on, my man? Reminds you of Crazy Taxi, but the passengers are cows? That's a good equation. Plus you have this like mounted machine gun rocket launcher thing. What is this supposed to be? I'm guessing it's like a missile machine gun. I was just wondering. This is not criticism. I just want to know from the horse's mouth, since we have Martian with us, what is your intention for this weapon? Because when I first jumped into it, I was just like, what is this gun? I was surprised. I mean, it looks very colorful. It's very appealing. I just don't know what the thought behind it is. And that's not important for something like this, but, I mean, while we have you here, I'd love to know. As far as going after one of these things, I think I need to wait for it to be on a cow or, like, coming after me or, like, stuck in a certain position. Duh! So driving on the road, Chuck, trying to get a kill on one of these. Haji, you been alright, man? Class treating you okay? Wait, you don't have classes right now, do you? Alright. How much boost we got? Jump. And... oh no! I didn't hold on the jump button long enough. Ah, too close. The PC version will be controller supported. You know, I had my Xbox controller plugged in from Mega Man, and I was actually just about to ask you that. I was about to, like, Discord you and be like, yo, does this controller support? Yeah, Martian, do you have much of a Discord presence, or are you more just on Jenny stuff? Just wondering if I want to keep in touch with you and all that. Yeah. Now, if only the cows get mad the longer it takes to get them to KFC. I love you, Haji. Also, wouldn't the cows rather be going to Chick-fil-A?
Awesome choice, stranger.
Spicy Boy 99. Hold up.
Thank you.
Oh crap, forgot that's not the pause. What is the pause? What is pause? P? There's no pause. Thank you for the follow. Yeah! Truck kill. If you're here live, enjoy your alert. If you want to play the game, hit !indie. And if you're onboarding, we'll see you when we see you. It is really difficult to body slam those things. The thing is, it would have been easy earlier when I was like messing around in the game. Now that I'm like actually trying to do it, it's actually kind of difficult. You're on Discord as Martian Games. Do you have your own server, or are you just in Jenny's server? Have you been doing any full playthroughs of what? Arkatka? Of Dishonored? No. Of other games? Yes, we've been doing a lot. Got it. 2 for 2, baby. 2 for 2. Escape is pause? Oh, okay. Escape took me out of my full screen. So I didn't know hitting it again would pause. I thought it would, like, kill my browser. My bad. Hey, Leia. How are you doing? Everyone say hi to my favorite leather worker, Leonette. How are you doing, darling? And how's your husband? And how's all that homemade bread? So, just came up with an idea. It's totally Haji's idea. Polish this game like crazy. Don't change the assets. Approach Chick-fil-A. Dress up the truck in Chick-fil-A logos. Sell this game as a free download with every like kids meal or combo meal thing. Get the money from Chick-fil-A for making the game an advertisement for them. No. Wait, back it up. Back to the Chick-fil-A thing. Take the game to Chick-fil-A. Have them put it online for free. When people play the game and get really high scores, they get coupons. Coupons are nothing because companies don't lose any money from coupons. And then that encourages them to go eat food. And then it encourages them to play your game. You get out there. You get a successful contract. Yes. Business model. Go do it now. You should be working on nothing else for the next 6 hours. I'm kidding, dude. I make stupid ideas. Yeah, I think it's been a fun game to play, and I have enjoyed my time doing it. Thank you for making it, Martian Games. Once again, if anybody wants to know about that game we were just playing, hit !indie. Arkadka, as far as mainstream stuff, there's been a lot of stuff I've been playing. You've been gone for a while. I could not tell you everything I've been playing. The most mainstream game I can think of that we played lately was Enslaved Odyssey to the West. But we've been playing a lot of games. Nah, it couldn't be the free coupons. It would have to be like the 50-cent coupons or something, like 50 cents off a sandwich or something like that. And you could only claim it like once or something. Pretty much something that they can get from the game, but not something that they wouldn't be able to get from other sources. That way Chick-fil-A is not like actually losing money, because if people had like clip coupons from everywhere, they wouldn't be able to do it. Yes, coupons with a Q. Exactly, Arkatka. Пожалуйста. Everyone wins, exactly. Chick-fil-A wins. Gamers win, you win. It's a win-win concept using a game you've already built. I win. Q wins. Nobody else. Okay. Let's see if we caught up on everything on the chat. Haji, the 29th, you've been good though. That's when your classes start. Well, I hope everything is alright. Arkatka, you'd have to look at the game list. Like if you go below the channel, even if, or if you're on mobile, you have to hit like info now. You can't just like scroll down, which is dumb. And go under the games tab, hit the games bullet, and look under the games finish on the left side. And anything you see finished on there, that's what we've been doing front to back since you've been gone. But I'm glad to have you back again. What we're going to do is switch over to our Fallout shelter. If you guys have been a part of it before, then you already know what the deal is. If you haven't been a part of it before, then you know what you're going to find out what the deal is. Song requests will be on. You can go ahead and start song requesting if you want to. We still have a little bit of a queue from last time. You're going to see the screen go black as we make a transition. I'm going to use a little shooter's room and grab myself a snack. And then we're going to play Fallout Shelter for the next hour and a half or so while listening to some music and chilling out until it is time to watch anime in about an hour and a half. Hit exclamation point show if you want to know more about anime. And hit exclamation point indie if you want to know more about Martian games. Get connected with them and play that game we were just playing, Cow Defender. Worth a few minutes of your time. Certainly was surprised at the quality of it. Other than that, thank you guys for being around. I will be right back on break. You can go ahead and request whatever songs you want. We'll just be chilling out for the rest of the evening. Thank you again, Martian, and feel free to chill out with us for the rest of the evening too, if you guys have time. I know you guys are very, very busy with that move and everything else going on. And I'm sorry that you're tired, but it sounds like you had a great time, Leia, at the amusement park. I will be right back. All questions to Nick. Nick, hold down the fort and watch the grill. BRBs.